The doctor was shocked to find out that her husband was with his ex-girlfriend for a prenatal checkup. However, instead of making a scene, she calmly continued with her work. After the examination, she found out that the baby was already 38 weeks old. After her husband left with his ex-girlfriend, she immediately called the head of the obstetrics department and scheduled an abortion procedure 7 days later, because she had just discovered she was pregnant. But before she could tell her husband the good news, she found out he had cheated on her. Heartbroken, she drafted a divorce agreement and decided to end their marriage. Just then, her husband came home. He explained that he and his ex were just friends now, and that his ex had just divorced and was too pregnant to move around, so he was only helping her. Unbeknownst to her, his ex called him. He lied about having an urgent meeting at work and rushed out. Taking advantage of his hurry, the woman pretended she wanted to buy a house and tricked her husband into signing the divorce papers. Without reading them, he signed his name. Then the woman called the doctor and agreed to participate in a medical exchange program in Paris, which meant she would disappear from her husband's life 2 weeks later. The next morning, the ex-girl even tried to add the woman as a friend on social media. When she saw the ex's post, she realized that her husband had been helping the ex set up their love nest under the guise of working late. At that moment, her husband came over and lied about being too busy to remember their wedding anniversary. He promised to make it up to her after work. However, when she got home, he didn't show up. He called and said he was working late, promising to have dinner with her another day. But when he turned around, he was seen with his ex at the supermarket. The ex noticed him and acted affectionately towards him. Watching her husband's loving expression towards the ex, the woman felt sick. The ex faked a stomachache and stepped back. Her husband immediately assumed it was the wife who was bothering the ex and scolded her for being unreasonable. The woman didn't want to argue anymore and tried to leave. Her husband was about to explain, but the ex faked another stomachache and asked him to take her to the hospital. The woman returned home feeling unwell and lay on the couch. Her husband came home and gave her some medicine, not knowing that she was pregnant and couldn't take any medication. When she refused the medicine, her husband thought she was just jealous over the supermarket incident and scolded her for acting childish. At this moment, the ex called. Her husband went away to answer the call and happily chatted with the ex, completely ignoring his wife who was vomiting. He looked up some information and shared it with the ex. At this moment, the woman felt heartbroken. The next day, her husband booked a restaurant to celebrate their wedding anniversary, but ordered a whole table of spicy food. The woman immediately understood that her husband's heart was still with his ex and had forgotten that she couldn't eat spicy food. Her husband said he forgot to buy a gift for the anniversary and told her to ask for anything she wanted. She mentioned that she had enrolled in an online course for new parents and wanted him to accompany her through the checklist. This confused her husband, who thought she was jealous of the ex and reassured her that they were just friends. He advised her not to be so sensitive. As the day of the surgery arrived, the woman wanted to say goodbye to the baby and made her husband go through the checklist with her in a warm atmosphere. Her husband suddenly suggested that he wanted a baby. The woman found it very ironic. She never expected that her husband's first desire for a child would be on the day he was about to lose the baby. At that moment, the ex called again, claiming her stomach was uncomfortable and asked her husband to take her to the hospital. Her husband lied about having work and was about to leave. The woman arrived at the hospital as planned for the surgery. The doctor asked her if she wanted to reconsider and talk to her husband again. But at that moment, she saw her husband, who claimed to be at a meeting, was actually with the ex for a prenatal checkup. She told the doctor that her husband was dead. Her husband outside saw her and the ex faked another stomachache, asking him to take her to see a doctor. Meanwhile, the woman signed the